Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Joe. Today, we're going to have with us Jennifer Jackson. She's amazing. She's a influencer. She's a YouTuber. She's a content creator, and today she's gonna share with us her life, how she started her struggle, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be amazing and we're going to be learning a lot from her. So I'm going to add her on the line. Hi. Hi. So she will be joining us soon. Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course.
I'm very excited to have you with us. So today we're gonna learn more about Jennifer and how she started and everything. So we're gonna start right into it. So my first question is going to be, how did you start it everything?
So my journey started like honestly over 11 years ago. At
How?
the time, I had lost my father in an earthquake, and it was just a big shock to the family. I was super depressed, didn't really know what to do with my life. And I kind of stopped taking care of myself entirely. And then one day I realized that my hair was falling out. And I was like, oh my God, snap. I need to get myself together. What's going on? So I started researching online. What do I do with my hair? What's going on? Why is it falling out? And in my research, I discovered YouTube, and that was YouTube 10 years ago. So
Wow.
it was not like what it is now. There was just few people talking on YouTube. So I started watching some hair videos, but there was no one that actually looked like me or had my hair type. And I was like, if I'm struggling to find representation in the space, why don't I start documenting my journey? What's going on? How I'm going to nurse my hair back to health. And that's how I turned on my old webcam. I think it was a MacBook, but it was a really, really old MacBook. I turned
Wow.
That's how it all started.
That's amazing. I love it. 11 years ago, I will never tell. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, as young as I look.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
But yeah, it's been a journey.
Wow. That's great. And you persevered, didn't give up. I love it.
No, and I mean, at the time it was kind of like a hobby, and I wanted to keep it a hobby. So I didn't tell anybody about it. Like I was just doing it just because, first of all, it made me feel better. It was kind of like my little outlet to get away from life. And I didn't want to make it something like monetize it because I
Hmm.
figured if I did, I would lose the passion I had for it. I don't know. It was just in my mind, I just figured like money was the root of all evil. So I was keeping
Yeah.
it separate. That was my bubble. And that's how it started. I just kept sharing, kept posting videos, and people that I honestly across the world, people that I didn't know started finding me and they were following me and talking to me. And I was just like, okay, I guess we can be friends.
Wow, that's great. That's so amazing to hear. All right, so my next question is, who are the people you look up to and the people who inspired you?
It's funny. It's going to sound kind of cliche, but I would say my parents did. So growing up, I saw how hardworking they were. I grew up I'm Haitian. I'm from Haiti,
Okay.
raised in Haiti, grew up in Haiti. And at the time, obviously, I was very oblivious to what was going on in Haiti. However,
Hmm.
my parents worked so hard. We never went without anything. Whatever we needed was always provided. And as I grew up, especially after my dad passed away, I started realizing the sacrifices that they made for us and how hard they worked for us and everything they poured just into the family. So I would say that was my inspiration to, first of all, work harder and just be the best version of me that I can be. Of course, part of it was to make them
Yeah.
proud, But then along the way, I found my own like dance with it. I wanted to do it for me. So I would say my parents have been like a huge inspiration for me. And like I always say, I want to be like them when I grow up.
Wow, that's so cute.
Yeah. Just they
Okay, awesome.
from both sides and
Mhm.
made it me.
Wow, I hope you had a chance to express that to them.
I mean, you know how Haitian parents can
I
be.
know. Okay. All right. So my next question is like, what are the best resources that's help you grow and
Uh,
get into it and stuff?
Honestly, I would say just research. Like Google is such a powerful tool. Obviously, it's very saturated and it can be a good and a bad thing because obviously there's so much information that you can find, and if you don't know how to maneuver it, then everyone's an
Mhm.
expert online now. But back
Yeah.
when I first started, I did a ton of research. So how to take pictures, how to take, like, I guess, research into photography, how to create my videos, how to film myself, cameras that I need, how to edit. Like I just completely Google and YouTube all of that. And of course, with practice, you get better. But the internet is a huge resource. Like this is not the ancient times where you need to go to a library anymore. Anything that you need to learn is at your fingertips. So I,
But you basically like self-taught of everything.
yeah, self-taught.
That's
That's what I did. Anything that I didn't know, I would search it up. How do you do this? How do you do that? And you just go through the rabbit hole of finding all the information and just apply it.
oh, that's great. That's great. That's a great example for everybody out there.
I agree.
So, what is the most important things that you have learned so far in your life?
Uh, Most important thing, I would say to listen to your heart in a sense. Uh,
Okay.
like when I was growing up, right, especially being Haitian and being, growing up with strict parents, I always felt kind of boxed in. Like I had to do what somebody else wanted me to do. I had to be who someone else wanted me to be. So
Okay.
once I learned to not listen to other people and kind of listen to what I wanted and be comfortable in myself, that's when I really flourished, I think. So I stopped restricting myself by the expectation of other people. I just created my own expectations for me and where I wanted to go and followed that. So my life really changed once I stopped listening to everybody else or expectations, even like cultural expectations too.
Hmm.
I just started drafting my own path. So my biggest thing, I guess I would say in my life is to just not think about what other people, not absorb what other people think of you.
Wow. And have you faced any setback in your work, and how did you overcome them if you did?
So being an influencer, honestly, it's constant challenge, I would say. Things don't, half of the time, it doesn't work out how you want it to work out. So it's about learning how to pivot when things aren't going your way, researching what you can do better, and continuing. So basically, it's a game of not giving up because things are always going to be hard. Like I could draft my entire day and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then it just goes south from there and I don't do what I wanted to do. So it's a matter of staying focused and continuing what you set your mind to do. So I wouldn't say that I've had like major setbacks, but it's just if it's not working out, you have to know when to pivot. And that doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It's just knowing when to switch gears. I think it's a huge life skill that a lot of us don't practice. We get so we got to go this way, but perhaps you need to, you know,
Do the other way,
yeah, just go to the next lane and continuing. So
or try something different?
exactly. Trying something different. You learn along the way. So no matter what you're doing, if it doesn't work out, it's not a failure. It's just, it was a life lesson. You know what not to do now.
Can you share with us like one thing that one of your viewers learned from you and you did not expect at all?
Uh, so people will reach out to me and say that I've helped them with their hair. And a lot of the time I don't know. I think it's obvious just because I have a whole hair channel. I talk about my hair all the time. But I think there was this one time when someone reached out to me and she said that I inspired her to be like the best version of herself that she can be. And that included like cleaning her house and
Wow.
crafting her goals. And I was like, wow, like thank you. I think I don't take that lightly when someone say that I inspired them to do anything. Um, but yeah, that was very unexpected. Like when she went down to, I see that your house is always so clean, and I'm like, well, first of all, thank you.
So white.
I work really hard to keep it clean, but just something like that inspires someone to be a better version of themselves. I don't know, it warms up my heart.
Because it's one of the things that always like I always pay attention to in your videos. I'm like, how is her place always so white? Like,
You know what the secret is? The secret is to clean as you go. I used to clean once a week, but now I learned to clean like a little bit, like 20 minutes every day. Every single
okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Keep up the good work. You inspire me to do better. And what's the best compliment have you ever received?
Oh. Um Actually, you know what? My brother was here, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, a month ago. I don't know. Time's flying. Recently, and we're just talking. He was like, I'm so proud of you. You're so organized. And I'm just like, you. I think for me, the biggest compliment is either, first of all, that I inspire people. I think that's huge for me. And that I'm really organized. I think, because I used to be like all over the place. I just never had,
Really?
I felt like I never had my stuff together. Like I was always,
Really?
no, it's honestly something that I've learned along the way. So when people say I'm really organized, it goes straight to like this little core of art. And I'm like, oh, thank
Wow, you're doing it. You're doing it.
you.
Oh my goodness. And how would your parent describe what you're doing right now?
Like I said, I'm Haitian. I feel like longest time my mom had just no idea what I was doing with my life. She was just like, I don't understand it. I'm not even gonna ask questions. I always have these little messages where she's like, don't quit your job. You know, don't do that. Like if you're gonna do it, at least do both. And I don't know how she would describe it. I guess she would probably say, you're in like marketing and advertising if she had to say something. But most days she just doesn't even understand it. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you filming yourself like this? Like she doesn't really get it, but she supports it now because I mean she sees the work that I'm doing and she also see how hard I work behind the scene. So especially when she's here, I'm up at like 2, 3 in the morning editing a video, or I'm waking up super early for something, and she sees the hard work that I'm putting in, and I think she understands that now. She's like, okay, you're really trying something that your heart is passionate about. And when she watches my videos now, which makes me super nervous,
Oh,
she'll say, someone say that you help them do this or you help them do that. So you're helping people. And I'm like, yeah, yeah,
oh.
reason. So now she understands it and she supports it.
I guess support, that's all that matters.
Especially as kids, I feel like that's what we all want from our parents, for them
Yes.
in us to support us. So it goes a long way.
It's like you're always looking somehow for the approval, even being an adult.
Yeah, that's true. It never ends. You always want your parents' approval.
Oh, that's so nice. All right. Okay. So, what would you say that your biggest achievement is so far?
I have two, but if I had to choose one, I would say finishing university. Uh,
Mm.
the time I got to do my dad passed away, which caused this huge drift in all of our lives. So I had to stop university and work like 3 jobs and was really
Um,
happened. It was a very dark time in my life, but I'm very proud of myself that I never gave up because after working my 3 jobs, and I always had it in mind that I'm sacrificing a lot right now so that I could have
mhm.
later on. So then eventually I saved up enough money and went back to school and finished my university, my degree. And to me, that's like the biggest achievement. That's the hardest thing that I've ever done, especially because I did biochemistry, but also because of everything that happened and how I maneuvered it all and was able to go back and finish. To me, that's like, I don't know, I would say that's one of my biggest achievements.
That's huge. That's huge. And you have to do it for yourself because you wanted to and you just didn't give up.
Absolutely. You have to do it. If you're doing for somebody else, it's not the same. You feel like it's forced. Like when I first went into university, I felt like I was going for my parents. But then when I went
Mhm.
back, I went for me. So the last 2 years, I really enjoyed it. I feel like I actually learned so much. And it also let me know that when you set your mind to something, you have a goal, you can actually achieve it, no matter what happens. And the unexpected is going to happen. However, if you're focused, you're
Yeah.
make it happen. So that's when I learned that this life lesson, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
That's the key, not to give up and stay focused.
Absolutely.
And what is something that people always tend to misunderstand about you?
I I think right now people don't understand how busy I am, and
Mm.
but they can't take that the wrong way. So I don't socialize as much. I don't go out as much. And if someone's hitting me up last minute to chill, it's not gonna happen. I need, 2 to 3 business days notice. And so with that, I think people can misunderstand. Oh, she's acting brand new. She's never available. And it's like, well, no, I'm
Yeah.
busy. Just give me some notice, and I will make time for you. But I just can't do things last minute anymore. So I think that's been like a hard thing to train my circle to understand that I have a lot on my plate. I'm busy. I am available, but 2 to 3 business days. Okay.
At least so we can change things around and,
Yeah.
make arrangement, which is understandable, I think.
Yeah. And I try not to do things last minute unless it's an emergency. Obviously, I'll do what I have to do, but I try not to stretch myself too thin because I also prioritize self care.
Yeah.
Prioritize my downtime. So
You're only one person.
absolutely.
All right. If you could turn back in time, right, and talk to your 18 years old self, what advice would you give her?
I will tell her that it's going to work out. Like no matter what, it's going to work out. Because oh god, I used to stress out so much back then, and I was very frustrated that things weren't working out how I wanted them to work out. So I would tell her to chillax, relax, live in the moment, and also understand that it's going to work out as long as you are obviously not doing anything detrimental to you, your body, and your circle. But it's going to work out. It's gonna be okay, Jen.
That's funny because most people I talk to, they all say the same thing. I guess when we're young, we got like so many things we want to accomplish, and like the plans are so big, and we forget like to focus on what's important, and we want to rush to the future. And then when you get older, we'll be like, hey,
Go
what
back.
I was thinking, I wasn't thinking.
I feel like it's the same story all around. We want to grow fast. Once we become adults, we're like, can I get a rain check on that? Can I go back?
Nobody teach me on that. Like, I guess they forgot that part, like where like, mom, what happened?
Oh,
I wish somebody gave me more information about this life.
actually, I think that's something that I would say is missing in our community. Just more conversation around what it's like to be a young adult, an
Yeah.
adult, things to expect and things to look out for, things to watch out for, prioritizing self care, how to organize your life. I think this conversation was so important. I mean, I wish I had these conversations when I was younger, right? So that I could manage my life better.
Yeah. And it's okay to take care of yourself, not only, taking care of other people, but if you don't have yourself together, you can't give what you don't have.
Absolutely. The conversation around self care, especially, I think once the pandemic hit, everyone really understood how important taking care of yourself is. But yeah, like you can't give from like an empty tank or empty glass, whatever the saying is. So yeah.
And where do you see yourself in a couple of years?
Successful. That's where I see myself. Place.
Like, going up.
I guess I don't know. Being an influencer is it's one of those careers that can change so fast, so quickly. Like overnight, you can get a deal, boom, your life is changing. So it's hard to say where I would see myself in my career, but I know wherever I land, I want to be successful. I want to remain humble, but also enjoy my success because, your girl has some expensive taste. And there's nothing wrong with that, is what I'm realizing.
And we only have one life.
I know we work hard. We might as well enjoy it too. So I want to be successful in the future. That's it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And who says we couldn't have it all? I don't know. Who said that?
I don't. Whoever said that, we're not friends.
Strongly disagreeing. What advice would you give to somebody that want to pursue the same career?
I would say to learn about yourself first. Know yourself and understand why you're going into it. Like it's hard work. People see the glorified side of, being an influencer, etc. But like starting is really hard. And for the first, I want to say 2 years, you're not even going to see or be able to benefit from your hard work. But you
Mm-hmm.
have to be focused. You have to know why you're doing it. And also understand that you're putting yourself out there. However, you don't need to be available to everyone, right? You need to have some boundaries. Know what you want to share, know what you're not going to share, and just keep going. Be focused, work hard. Eventually it's going to pay off. And especially at first, you are everyone. You're a photographer, videographer, you're the social media manager, it's so many different positions in one, and it's a lot of work. So you have to be focused, you have to prioritize your time and prioritize self-care. Know why you're doing it and keep going. Don't give up. There's so many influencers that, I mean, just lovely people with a ton of talent, and you don't see them anymore.
And something just came in mind when you said you putting yourself out there. So I wanted to ask you, how do you manage, people's comment? Because I know some of them can not be sometime too nice. Because I got people telling me stuff that wasn't, it wasn't all the way down there, but I would be like, how is your brain got to that conclusion? So
So that's the thing. First of all, you can't control other people. That's my thing, right? You could put something out there, people will take your words, twist it, and make it something that's not it. So one, you can't control other people, so I try not to clarify myself too much. And my main rule, and that's something that I set for myself, I want to say at least 6, 7 years ago, early on when I started this, is that you will never find me going back and forth with someone online. Ever. That's my hard rule. And it's funny, anybody that follows me, they know that I respond to a lot of my comments. You always get one response out of me. That's it, right? If whatever it is that you slide in my DM, Jen, can you help me with this? I will respond. If it's a negative one, then whatever, delete. I try not to spend my energy in areas that is negative. I
okay.
on the positive always, but if you're gonna get one answer out of me, that is it. If you come back trying to like continue the conversation, it's over. It's over. Have strong boundaries when it comes to especially the comments. I
Okay.
respond to negative comments, and that's different from constructive criticism. No, I take them
Mhm.
very well. Someone's watching my videos, or you could have done this better, or this and that. I feel da da da. We can have healthy conversations. We're adults. We can talk. We don't have to agree. However,
Yes.
coming at me just because for no reason, like at me as a person, then it's like we're not having this conversation. We're not doing this. I don't have time to do this with you. So no, I have strong boundaries when it comes to comments. I don't feed into the negativity, and I will only respond once. That's it.
That's great. That's great advice. I love it. I'm taking all of this for myself.
Oh yeah, being online, people are wild. Some people, and like, And what I'm realizing too, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. They have a bad day, they had a bad week, whatever's going on in their lives, they're mad at whoever, and they're taking it out on the first picture they see online, which just so happened to be you, right? It's like I have nothing to do with this negative energy, girl. If you want to
I
talk, it
didn't do it. Whatever it is, it wasn't me.
has nothing to do with me. So yeah, a lot of people are saying protect your energy. I agree. Protect your peace, protect your energy, especially online. It's not worth it.
I love it. Thank you so much. That was great. And one last thing, if you want to, I know you're on Instagram and YouTube, but is there any other platform where if people want to go listen to you, ask question, where can they connect with you?
Well, I mean, your girl is struggling on these TikTok streets. So if you
Oh boy,
follow me,
God bless your soul. I still didn't make it yet. I'm like, no, I don't know, not with this one.
yeah, I mean, Instagram and YouTube are my main platforms. And yeah, there's TikToks on the side, there's Twitter on the side. It's all the same, D Jen Jackson, Jen with two N's. But yeah, that's about it.
I love it. That was great. Thank you so much for being with us today. Let me see if anybody had any questions. Some people put some comments. Steffi Flo said, protect your peace. Yes. We had Saskia. She said, protect your peace. Love it. Um, Let me see. Oh, I'm trying not to mess this up. Trying to go up and read some comment. Miss Radiant said, love that. Don't fall into the negativity. Prioritizing is key from Saskia. Think Vladimir said, do not call her, text her. I guess somebody's not picking up her phone.
So
Miss Radiant.
if you were to catch me, text me. And if you're gonna call me, you have to text me to tell me you're going to call me.
Oh boy.
So I don't take phone
It's
calls.
like a schedule a meeting for the text. Okay. Ex Mortis said, I love you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to go up. Let me see. We all inspired by you.
Aw.
That's from Saskia. Susan said hi, Susan Washington.
Hello, Suzanne.
And it was great. And a couple of people sent a couple of smiley emoji, laughing emoji. So yeah, S.A. Purity said send some couple of emoji for both of us, some love emoji. So that's it. That's all we had for you today, people. Thank you so much, Jen, for sharing your experience. It's very, very inspiring. And like I said, I love watching your house. It's always so sparkling white. And I'm like, that's my goal. That's my vision. That's where I'm reaching out to. Oh, one more thing. I want to read that for you. It's from Vladimir. He said, that will be proud of what you have accomplished, and I'm proud of you.
My brother is such a mush. But
Oh, it's like, okay, we're not doing this today. We're not doing it. Yeah, that's great stuff. I'm getting emotional, but okay. So yeah, I was saying thank you for so much. Thank you for being so focused and not giving up. And I know it's a lot of work because I see your video all day. I don't even know how you do it because I can't. I know the time and for everybody who doesn't know, you also have your regular job. So I
that's,
don't even know how you do that at all.
I know one
And
day, Jen, how did you do it? But for now, I'm just so focused in doing it. I don't spend time trying to figure out how I'm doing it. I just do it, you know.
that's great. And that means a lot like to us. And thank you for inspiring so many of us black women and maintaining our hair, natural hair. It's a lot.
It is.
I just started myself that natural journey and I'm like, what the heck I was thinking? I don't know. I wanted to shave it again the other day because I'm like, oh.
Well, you're gonna feel like that a lot of the time, actually, when it comes to hair. I swear. But I just feel like it's something we're never taught how to really take care of our hair. It gets better, I would say, it gets better with time. But at the beginning, yeah, it's a lot.
But seeing you doing it make me think maybe I can do it too. So thank you for that. And everybody who were online with us, watching us, commenting, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see you next Sunday for another episode with another amazing guest. And everybody have a nice Sunday and you take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.